Steph, last year you admitted that the MVP award got you out of your routine, and you kind of struggled that night. Did any of that happen tonight for you?
I was better, handling emotionally. Haven't been through it before and kind of understand the adrenaline rush and whatnot. So it's just kind of been a long 3 days with just having come back and then fly home and have the day we had yesterday and then turn around and have a game. So all that said, we as a team we all pretty much had to go through it. I think we started off a little slow but found our edge and our competitiveness and were able to find enough juice down the stretch to win. So it ended up being a great night.
Steph, how impressed were you with performance there in that fourth quarter? As a guy who's just coming into his own, but 16 points in that fourth quarter.
He was tough. He kept his foot on the gas pedal, made some tough shots, and took advantage of some offensive rebounds and had the confidence to keep shooting and knock them down. So he did what he could to keep his team in the game, and he's a talented player, so that's what you expect, and I'm sure he's only going to get better as they go forward. So that's why it was kind of just a grinded out series, every game we played against them, because they are a very talented team as a whole, and when they make threes, it's tough to separate yourself. So we just had to grind it out.
Draymond, what happened to it? Your mom tweeted out that you had tweaked it in the game before.
It's a bit sore for sure. I went up, and it was on the transition play where I got fouled by Crab. I went up, he kind of hit me, and I lost balance a little bit and came down on the side of it. But it's definitely something that's been reoccurring a bit. Same thing happened last year in the playoffs. I sprained it like the second round and got it almost every game after that. And so these few days off will be good for me. What is it, 4 days off or 6 or whatever it is? To be good to rest up and do some strengthening up and get with our training staff and try to get it back right as much as possible. But it's one of those things where once you do it, it kind of lingers on. So it's just something that I gotta do what I can do for it right now, and if it happens again, just deal with it.
It's a lot of time. It takes some time to get in rhythm. You kind of battle yourself a little bit. There can be some thinking involved. Both Monday and tonight, earlier in the game, it looked like you were, but then obviously late was when you're at your best. Was that when it just kind of like crunch time, don't have to think, react, and you kind of got back in your flow?
Yeah, when you miss that much time, it's just hard to kind of just get into the flow of the game, and it goes from being you and 2 coaches rebounding for you while you shoot jumpers to 9 other guys on the floor and a lot of moving parts. So just have to stick with it. I was a huge adrenaline rush in Portland to get through that fourth quarter and overtime, feeding off of the energy of my teammates, and then tonight kind of the same deal. We really needed that energy from the home crowd to just find a way to have some huge offensive possessions and then get some stops down the stretch. So I was happy to be a part of it. Obviously, it's nice to be back and just figure it out.
What are the benefits of having a team push you like they pushed you guys, and going into that next series that you go into? What do you get from this going into that one?
The playoffs is what you expect. We're at home and playing a team like Portland. It's a talented team. You can't expect them, especially in a closeout game, to blow a team out or whatnot. And we played decent. We didn't play amazing, but we did enough to get the job done. And it just battle tested us in those clutch kind of possessions down the stretch to find a way to get some stops and lock in offensively and just try to execute. So we know it's only going to get tougher as we go forward. The intensity, the atmosphere, the pressure is going to build. Just have to allow them to, like you said, the experiences of this series, the last series, and what we've learned about ourselves as we keep going.
Steph, 2 things. How is your knee? How's it feeling and all that stuff? And the other thing for both of you guys, Are you guys a better team right now than you were at this point last year going into the conference final?
My knee's fine. I'll be all right. It's gonna be sore, like Draymond said. At this point, just continue to get treatment, be ready for each game, deal with whatever discomfort you have, and go out and play. What was the second part?
Are you guys a better team now than you were at this point? What would you say?
I think it's two complete different years. I wouldn't necessarily say we're better. We're more seasoned, and that may make us better, because we've been through so much. The experience, I think makes us better. We know how to handle things. We know how to stay poised. So I think if anything, that will make us better. And some guys have gotten better individually, and when that happens, you get better as a team.
On that last shot with 24 seconds left, was that just a matter of doing what you've done all season, and how much do you live for those moments with the ball in your hands and the team looking for a big shot?
That's what you practice every day for, and go through the regular season to be in those kind of moments, and just let your mind free, have confidence, and try to knock down the shot, make a play. So, just in that situation, trying to make a read after they switched the pick and roll, and just have confidence in whatever I decided to do at that point. And obviously that was to shoot a three and thankfully win it.
The question for both you guys. This year was harder, right? There were more injuries. You had injuries. Steve Kerr was injured for a lot of the year. What was it? Just more painful, or was it harder in other ways in the sense that teams came at you as the defending champ?
I think the season was. I think it presented different challenges for us. With, like you said, with some of the injuries we dealt with, and with Coach Kerr being out, that presented a different challenge. But Luke was great. So I think then, being the defending champs, like you stated, teams are coming at you every single night. So in that aspect, those things made it a little tougher. But then I also think having that year under our belt in this system helped out. Making a run to the finals and winning the championship, going through that helped out. So I think there were different challenges. I wouldn't necessarily say it was that much harder, but there were different challenges than last year.
Draymond, Spurs or Thunder, is there a matchup where you guys think one way or the other, or is it a coin flip?
No, I don't have a preference. Regardless of which team we play, it's going to be tough. So, and we know that. So I'm going to enjoy this one tonight. Enjoy closing this series out because, number one, didn't want to go back to Portland. And play, that crowd was amazing, and they're tough there, just happy to be done with this series. That was a tough series, and that's a team who continued to fight, a lot of talent, a lot of guys stepped up huge, for them in this series. So, just looking at this series and seeing 4-1, it didn't feel like that. It was a very tough series, and, I gained a lot of respect, for those guys, because the way they fought, obviously behind Dames and CJ Lee, and then the way everybody else filled in, whether it was Crabbe coming off the bench, stepping up huge, Aminu had a huge series, Mo Harkless stepped up. I mean, everybody stepped up, so I'm happy to be finished with this series, and I'm going to enjoy this one tonight, and we'll see who we play then, but I don't have a preference, so enjoy this one for now.
Recharge. How about mental recharge after a tough series like that, particularly at the halfway point of your goal in the playoffs? I mean, Steph, you could answer this too. I mean, is this a good time to take a 4 to 6 day break?
I think it is. You sometimes a lot of people worry about, if that's going to make you rusty or not. Usually if it do, that lasts for a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, and it's something that you could bounce back from. But the rest, I think, goes much further than the rust. And so, I think, obviously, with myself going down, well, not going down, but kind of tweaking my ankle today and, a few other things going on, and Steph's knee and Bogey going down today, the physical is definitely big for us right now. But I think in a regular circumstances where everybody's healthy, the mental goes way further because, like, just the stress of knowing, like, I got a game today. Your entire day is stressful. And so, you know, not having that stress for 5 days allows you to recharge and, you know, really get ready to go again. So I think, you know, this comes at a great time for us, and, you know, we're definitely going to try to take advantage of it.
Points in the fourth quarter when you hearing the fans said MVP, what's your emotion about this?
I mean, they support us, you know, thick and thin, no matter if it's a regular season game or, you know, a big night like tonight, a closeout situation with the ceremony and everything. So we appreciate that love, that support. We get spoiled every night coming into this arena and feeding off of that energy and that vibe. So. You know, it's fun, and you appreciate those kind of moments in particular. So it gives us a huge home court advantage for sure. Earlier, that dude had the best series I think I've ever seen him play on both ends of the floor, defending Dame, exhausting all his energy to make it uncomfortable for him and what he's able to do offensively. Hopefully that doesn't get lost in, you know, our series and the way that we played as a team, because you look down and do that 33 points and chase Dame around for all 34 minutes he's on the court. So shout out to him for him elevating his game on both ends of the floor. I had to say that. Thank you.
No practice tomorrow, practice on Friday.